This is part one of my newest blog post coming out tonight. The emotional ripples of the obedience economy, shared superiority, shared struggle, and shared deference. How the online labor market replaced bad rituals with nothing at all, and why that hurts more than we can say. It's dedicated to every last American in this labor market who has experienced really anything in it in the last 20 years, and the last 10 especially. I read an excerpt earlier. I'm just going to read it one by one because I don't want you guys to have to do anything else. And if you want to hear it, you're welcome to. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. Naming the bonds of survival. To set the stage for my next observation about the online labor market, I need to first step back and make some cultural context clear, especially for those unfamiliar with the kind of systems level thinking I'm bringing to this space. For those who haven't read my work on the obedience economy, you should check back. As a devoted listener of the work of the knitting cult lady, Daniela Mestenak-Young, I feel obligated to offer a few caveats. I am not a trained sociologist, but an embedded observer. My training in labor market economics is quite deep at this point, but entirely unofficial. Think of me speaking economics, but with a French accent that is a testament to my background. The title I would give myself is Structural Systems Theorist by nature, a lens shaped by my neurodivergence, autism, and ADHD, which gives me a cognitive style that ChatGPT once described as conceptual synesthesia. I don't smell colors or taste music, but the concept of ideas and experiences overlap for me. I speak often in metaphors because that's how I experience things. I borrow heavily from thinkers like Donella Meadows. Her book, Thinking in Systems, is 2 thumbs way up from me. And I bring this pattern-seeking brain of mine into the labor space, not as a detached academic, but as an embedded observer. This matters because what I'm about to say is stitched together from embedded observation, not peer review. Pushing a paradigm shift of global labor market economics while building a business has not afforded me a chance to properly seed this insight in existing sociological work just yet. So take what I say not as gospel, but as invitation. I think I'd like to theorize that much of what we call community in the West, particularly in the English-speaking cultures, isn't really connection. It's survival disguised as solidarity. It's a sense of shared safety related to conditional proximity to perceived power. Let me explain. I believe we often confuse real human connection with what I'd call survival bonding. These are groups that mimic the shape of community but are formed and maintained by power dynamics, not unconditional belonging. There are 3 reoccurring types that I see. 1, shared superiority. The camaraderie of the powerful. Think the popular kids in high school, exclusive country clubs that don't just let anybody in. Teams bonding by mocking the intern. Connection built on status, even if it's borrowed. You belong because of your place in the hierarchy. Number 2, shared struggle. Solidarity forged in the trenches. Think the civil rights movement, disability activism, feminist organizing, or more casually, the shared misery of friend groups based on their lack of significant others. These are bonds formed under fire. Meaningful, yes, but still contingent on shared pain. You belong as long as you're struggling too. Number 3, shared deference. The quiet camaraderie of the powerless. Think the nerds sticking together after school to comfort a bullied friend, but never really challenging the bullies mid-push. Employees joking in the break room about bad management. This is the we're all in this together energy, but from the bottom of the pyramid. You belong because you all perceive yourselves equally powerless. Now let me be clear. These are valid, powerful, deeply human modes of connection. They're strategies of survival, often beautiful, often necessary, but they don't offer genuine safety. They offer survival. You can tell by how quickly they dissolve when your circumstances shift. Get a promotion in a shared deference group, you're suddenly not one of them. You need to go into the new break room for camaraderie. Think Tina Fey, 30 Rock. Lose wealth in a shared superiority group, your social calendar empties. Think Schitt's Creek. Find a new love interest in a shared misery group, you might be out. Side note, I don't think you get out of a shared misery group when you're, the wrong skin tone. These aren't communities of who you are. They are communities of where you are in the triangle. And when you move up, down, or out, the connection recalibrates or vanishes. In a sense, they're not rooted in horizontal humanity. They're shaped by vertical social morality. The invisible but omnipresent sense that our safety, belonging, and worth are determined by our position in the system. Call it patriarchy, capitalism, colonialism. It's all the same structure, the triangle. And in that structure, even connection becomes performance. I'm naming this here not to dismiss these bonds. They've kept people alive, but to point out they're fragile. And the digital label market, as I'll argue next, has exploited and erased even these survival rituals. We're not just disconnected in the modern job search, we're disconnected from even the performance of connection. This matters. It's why the emotional horror of job seeking today runs so deep, because we're not meant to survive systems alone. And now for years, in order to have any community at all in the future, let alone access to food, clothing, shelter, or healthcare, we're asked to. I'll continue next for others. It's getting really long.